Privacy. It's a fundamental human right. Every person has the right to privacy, and that includes their finances. Although financial privacy has had a war raged against it since the dawn of banks, and it's only getting worse with the dawn of Bitcoin, crypto, and the Be Your Own Bank movement. The powers that be want to know where your money came from and where it is going, and they won't stop until the systems and tools of finance and crypto show them everything. So are you ready for my everything? Because it's time for Chico Crypto. Satoshi knew this about the banks and governments. That is why he created Bitcoin. Satoshi said this in 2009 regarding privacy. The root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. Banks must be trusted to hold our money and transfer it electronically. We have to trust them with our privacy. Trust them not to let identity thieves drain our accounts. Yeah, conventional currency has gone electronic, meaning when you use USD through your bank account, all your financial data is public to government agencies, hackers, and more. Bitcoin was actually created to be private. The only public identifier of a Bitcoin address is a public key, which includes strings of numbers and letters. There is no other information like a name, address, gender, and more. Although as time has gone on and centralized exchanges, wallets, and blockchain analysis tools have come to the forefront, privacy on the blockchain is becoming more scarce. It's still possible to be fully private on both the Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain, but it takes a whole lot of work. That is why the tool Tornado Cash was invented. The founders and developers created a privacy tool which allowed users to get their funds to a new Ethereum wallet without the funds being traced back from the sender. And it did this by pooling crypto assets together. Senders would send their ETH to a pool, and then waiting for some time as others contributed to the pool and the funds mix, they could withdraw from that pool using a secret code. The funds weren't the same ones that entered the pool, so they couldn't be traced if sent to a brand new address. Well, the government didn't like this, as it was announced 2 days ago that the US Treasury had sanctioned the notorious virtual currency mixer Tornado Cash. And this decision could have major implications for the future of privacy, cryptocurrency, and stablecoins. First, let's see what happened. From the press release, Tornado Cash, which has been used to launder more than $7 billion worth of virtual currency since its creation in 2019. This includes over $455 million stolen by the Lazarus Group, a Democratic People's Republic of Korea (DPRK) state-sponsored hacking group. Tornado Cash was subsequently used to launder more than $96 million of malicious cyber actors' funds derived from the June 24, 2022 Harmony Bridge heist, and at least $7.8 million from the August 2nd Nomad heist. Tornado was being used nefariously by hackers to wash funds, but Tornado isn't being used just by hackers and criminals. It was used by many people in a legal and legitimate way. When a buyer pays for something using a crypto wallet, the recipient of the transfer has access to the purchaser's public crypto wallet, showing account details and history. That is their private information, and there should be tools to protect that. Now, if Tornado was given warning by the government to implement protections to stop laundering, and it was shut down after they ignored the warnings, then it probably should have been shut down. And from the press release, they state that this might have been the case. Despite public assurances otherwise, Tornado Cash has repeatedly failed to impose effective controls designed to stop it from laundering funds for malicious cyber actors on a regular basis, and without basic measures to address its risks. But the government may be taking this way too far, which impedes on the First Amendment of the United States, the right to free speech. So what else happened? Well, Bloomberg posted this article. Crypto mixer Tornado Cash's accounts are disabled after US sanctions. And the article states, a GitHub account that previously hosted code related to Tornado Cash returned a page not found error, as did the website linked to the project. Emails to the Tornado Cash founders bounce back with the message, the email account that you tried to reach is disabled. GitHub has banned Tornado Cash. Their emails were disabled, but the big one is GitHub. The article continues. In an emailed statement, a GitHub spokesperson said that trade laws require GitHub to restrict users and customers identified as specially designated nationals or other denied or blocked parties, or that may be using GitHub on behalf of blocked parties. Now, Roman Semenov, founder of Tornado, said this: "My GitHub account was just suspended. Is writing an open source code illegal now?" He then says, "I'm personally not on the SDN list. Only Tornado Cash smart contracts and the website are." So why was Roman blocked and others that worked on the code in the GitHub repo? Are they going to face jail time and penalties for this? For writing open source code? It is possible, but code is actually considered speech under the First Amendment. From this article, we can see it says, today in the United States, anyone equipped with the right string of zeros and ones can 3D print an unregistered and untraceable assault rifle. That is thanks to Cody Wilson, a self-proclaimed anarchist who reached a settlement in 2018 with the US Department of State that allowed him to share downloadable open source code for 3D printed guns. The settlement was reached on the grounds that prohibiting the publication of this computer code infringed upon Wilson's First Amendment rights. So I would expect this to go to court, as there are multiple legal precedents set in our court system which protects code as speech under the First Amendment. But now it's time to dig down the rabbit hole and get a little conspiracy theorist on you all. It was announced besides GitHub that Circle would be blacklisting Tornado Cash smart contract addresses. The article states, all US persons and entities are prohibited from interacting with the virtual currency mixers USDC and Ethereum smart contract addresses on the SDN list. Penalties for willful non-compliance can range from fines of $50,000 to $10 million and 10 to 30 years imprisonment. An estimated 437 million worth of assets consisting of stablecoins, Ethereum, and wrapped Bitcoin are currently held in Tornado Cash's smart contract addresses. Now, this isn't good. A good amount of the money held in the smart contract is from users who weren't doing anything illegal. Their funds were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So what's going on? Well, Joe Regginato, VP of Product at Circle, and the guy who built USDC, said this in 2020 regarding Tornado Cash. I can tell you that to date, we have not considered any Circle USDC customer using the current Tornado Cash tool to be in breach for the single reason of interacting with Tornado Cash. Well, $437 million of users' assets are in breach. The money is frozen, blacklisted, to possibly never return. So what's going on? Well, Consensus put out an article on USDC in February of last year why USDC is the fastest growing stablecoin. They said, furthermore, Circle even cooperates with the US government on using USDC as a tool for foreign policy. In fact, the US government coordinated with Circle to distribute USDC to healthcare workers in Venezuela. In this way, they were able to bypass the traditional financial system that dictator Maduro controls. The close relationship both Circle and Coinbase have with the US government conveys trust to the market. The thinking here is that the government is less likely to restrictively regulate companies who are actively cooperating. Circle and USDC have close ties to government agencies, including helping the US government create a CBDC, central bank digital currency. From this article it says, at least 5 employees of Circle, which issues the world's second most popular stablecoin, have left the company over the past 3 years to work at the Boston Federal Reserve Bank as it researches how a US digital currency might work. So my friends, it's possible in the near future the Treasury will require USDC and other stablecoins to implement KYC and AML procedures for every single coin. Circle has the ability to blacklist any address. They could freeze the assets until the customer complies and puts forward identifying information. Why do you think in February of this year, Circle announced this? Verite, an open source framework for decentralized identity. The tweet thread states, Circle is building on Verite to become an issuer and verifier of KYC credentials, enabling individuals and institutions to participate in DeFi with counterparties they can trust. A new era of DeFi is fast approaching. A new era of surveillance is fast approaching and coming sooner than anyone realizes. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.